Thank you, Madam Speaker. Prime Minister, I wonder if, given the learnings we're taking from this experience, if you have given any consideration to the fact that deep rural constituencies such as South St. James, Northwest St. Elizabeth, East Central St. James may need to have a more devolved and decentralized way of managing not only disaster and recovery, but how we treat the development of deep rural constituencies. You see, when deep rural constituencies are lumped in with other constituencies as a block and treated with a one-size-fits-all kind of recovery model, you have outlying constituencies, communities that are marooned, that are treated the same way you treat the constituencies, communities at the center of the cities. Maybe it is an uncomfortable conversation, but have you given any consideration, given it's a question, to the fact that deep rural constituencies should not be allowed to wait at the back of the line for repairs to their roads, for repairs to their community centers, while we focus on the hospitals and at the middle of the parish, for example, in St. James. Yes, the hospitals need to be repaired, but should we have to wait always at the back of the line? What if we had a central repository, a group that is designed to look about our welfare even while you're looking about the welfare of those at the center? Deep rural constituencies, I believe, may even need a special department with technocrats who understand our reality, that can think about how they serve us even while others are focused on serving the centers. My second question, Prime Minister, it relates to shelter access and supply preparedness. Are you aware, Prime Minister, that deep rural constituencies were told that we should invite our residents to go to these shelters and expect to get food after the hurricane passes? What that meant for us in our experience is that communities got marooned after the hurricane passed. And so people who were in shelters from Sunday or Monday did not get food until as late as yesterday in some cases. And that when we redesign the model of preparedness, that we may have to contemplate that we have stockpiles of resources somewhere in satellite or regional offices, because we are small island developing states. We're SIDS, and SIDS have to treat with our preparedness not as a 2-day notice or a 3-day notice, but months in advance we have to prepare, and prepare especially for deep rurals that can get marooned and cut off. My other question, Prime Minister, is about the accuracy of reports versus the reality on the ground. What you presented here today, I must tell you, painted a picture I wish was the case for us in South St. James. It sounded as if there was some military precision in how we prepared for the storm, and the hurricane rather, and how we responded to it. And I want to thank everybody who helped, the JDF, the JCF, the outsiders, whomever else. But as is the case in South St. James, and it could also be because the data gaps are so wide and so glaring, that we have not seen that kind of treatment that you laid out for us here today. So we didn't see the JDF people rappelling down from ropes and bringing food to the people in these remote communities. We did not see the JDF and the JCF and the NWA and all these agencies.
The other challenge, you will have member. See, I just switched off. Are you finished your questions, member? So you'll have to move to another station. So the challenge, no. So members, So members, members, as of next sitting, member from Hanover, you might as well sit, your mic is off. Your mic, St. James, you may as well sit, your mic is off. Members, as of next sitting, you will not turn your mic on until after you're recognized. I know it's a point of order when he stood up, but member, your point of order. Marshall, would you be so kind? Is it possible to utilize the per mic? Would you please take it to the member for the point of order?
Check.
Madam Speaker, the member from South St. James is misleading the House, Madam Speaker. At no point and at no time in the Prime Minister's presentation did he speak about persons jumping out of helicopters, as you just said a while ago. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, I understand it is a sensitive time and a sensitive period, and you're offering some latitude, Madam Speaker. But Madam Speaker, please have the members speak honestly and follow the standing orders. Get up and ask your question. Get up and ask your question, Madam Speaker.
Another member, does another member have a point of order? No? Marshall, will you take the mic to the member from St. James? So, member from St. James South, member from St. James South.
Thank you.
You're required to ask a question. You have gotten a lot of latitude.
To ask the questions?
No. In all of your discussions earlier, please get to your question without the embellishment. Member, thanks much. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Most of us appreciate English language and understand similes and metaphor, but you'll get there. No, Madam Speaker. No, Madam Speaker, Prime Minister, and thank you. I was speaking to the reports you were receiving. I'm certain you did not go there and collect that information yourself, but you're relying on those in the field to provide you with information so you can make the best decisions. And I'm saying that what was shared here today doesn't reflect the reality we had on the ground in South St. James. As someone who walked across the constituency from Wednesday until Sunday and returns there tomorrow, I speak as their mouthpiece to say to you, Prime Minister, that what you have received, consider, or will you consider, that it may be embellished and not truly reflective of what we're experiencing. That's a question. My next question is about the scale of the damage and inadequate allocations. And I want to thank you and thank your cabinet for considering that $10 million allocation to a constituency like South St. James. But when you get a chance, and I know you have a long list of places to go, Prime Minister, will you consider coming to South St. James and these constituencies on foot this time and see for yourself the scale of the damage? I know that data is not our strong point in Jamaica. We don't collect enough data to show you that 5 or 10 or whole communities have been wiped out. And the speaker, the leader of government business can tell you, because he's from Moko, that Moko don't exist anymore. The houses have been flat. I don't know where to start with $10 million. And I'm asking that you do not apply a one-size-fits-all budget or purse to constituencies that have been totally demolished by devastating Melissa. That you come in, not by yourself, but with the technocrats, with those from Mona Geologics, with those who actually, not the politicians, they're just noise. I want you to consider, Prime Minister, to come in with the technocrats and see for yourself, because I don't know where to begin with $10 million. And my final question, Madam Speaker, to you, Prime Minister, is compensation and recognition for community responders. For me, I heard when you mentioned, Prime Minister, you know, about all of these agencies that went in and did all of these beautiful things in the constituencies, supported by the men and women on the ground. I wish for you to understand that from our perspective, it was the entire another way around. It's 180 degrees. It was the men and women from the constituencies who went in first, second, and third to clear the way so that they could come in. And I want you to consider, or will the Prime Minister consider, that the stimulus package that you proposed be thought out in a way that not only the big contractors who come in with their trucks and their tractors from parishes in St. Thomas and Kingston get the big bucks, but consider, Prime Minister, that these people who use them saw, them hoe, them machete to clear a path be given some of the big bucks too, and not just the crumbs after they have swallowed up the bulk of it. Thank you. Madam Speaker.
No, members, you get a lot of latitude which you abuse. You get a lot of latitude which you abuse. The member, what's his name now? He sent, and that's St. Ann Southeast, the member from St. Ann Southeast.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Prime Minister, for your presentation. If you'd allow me, would like to also acknowledge those involved